When a hiker stumbled upon a pregnant lynx trapped on the edge of a steep cliff, he didn't hesitate. Ignoring the danger to himself, he carefully made his way down the unstable slope, knowing that one wrong step could be fatal. The lynx, frightened and cornered, growled weakly, her body showing clear signs of exhaustion. With calm movements and a soft voice, the man approached and eventually wrapped his jacket around her, lifting her to safety. He contacted a local wildlife rescue, which took her in for care and later released her back into the wild after she gave birth to 2 healthy cubs. Months passed, and the man often hiked the same trails, wondering if she had survived. Then one crisp morning, he spotted movement in the trees. It was her, the same lynx, standing tall and strong. But she wasn't alone. Her 2 cubs peeked from behind her as she stared directly at him. For a long moment, she held his gaze, then dipped her head slightly before disappearing into the forest. It was a gesture not of fear, but of recognition and gratitude. A silent thank you from the wild, more powerful than words could ever express. While hiking through the rugged wilderness one afternoon, a man heard faint, desperate cries echoing from a nearby cliffside. Investigating further, he discovered a wild lynx, pregnant and trapped on a narrow ledge, clearly exhausted and in distress. Against his better judgment, he climbed down the rocky slope to help her, risking his own life. With slow, gentle movements, he calmed the frightened animal and managed to guide her to safety. Wildlife rescuers later arrived, and the lynx was taken in for care. She eventually gave birth to 2 healthy cubs and was released back into the wild. What the man didn't expect was how the encounter would change him. The experience awakened something deep within, an appreciation for life, nature, and the fragile balance that binds us all. He began volunteering with wildlife organizations, dedicating his free time to rescuing and rehabilitating injured animals. His story inspired others, even leading to a local conservation campaign. Months later, he encountered the lynx again in the forest, watching him from afar with her cubs by her side. That silent moment of connection reaffirmed everything. Saving her hadn't just changed her life, it had transformed his. From that day on, he was no longer just a hiker, but a guardian of the wild. While exploring a remote mountain trail, a man spotted a pregnant lynx stranded on a narrow cliff ledge, visibly injured and unable to move. The drop was steep, and one misstep could be fatal, but he couldn't walk away. Driven by instinct and compassion, he scaled the unstable rock face, heart-pounding, and carefully approached the wildcat. She hissed weakly, but didn't resist as he gently wrapped her in his jacket and carried her to safety. He contacted a wildlife rescue team, who took the lynx into care. She gave birth to 2 cubs and was released weeks later into a protected area. Months passed, and the man often returned to the area, hoping to catch a glimpse of her. Then, one early morning, he saw movement in the trees ahead. To his astonishment, the lynx stood watching him, strong, healthy, and with her 2 cubs in tow. But what shocked him wasn't just her survival. As he stood frozen, she calmly approached within a few feet, looked directly into his eyes, and gave a soft chuff before vanishing into the woods. In that quiet moment, he realized something profound: she remembered him. Her silent acknowledgement was more powerful than any thank you he could imagine. While hiking through a dense forest trail, a man stumbled upon a breathtaking yet heart-wrenching scene: a pregnant lynx stranded on a narrow cliff edge, clearly injured and too weak to move. Despite the danger, he couldn't ignore her plight. Carefully, he climbed down the rocky slope, speaking softly to soothe her. Miraculously, she allowed him to lift her into his arms, cradled in his jacket. He contacted a local wildlife rescue, and the lynx was taken in for treatment. Weeks later, she gave birth to 2 healthy cubs and was eventually released back into the wild. The man thought their story had ended, but he was wrong. Months passed, and during another hike through the same area, he spotted a familiar figure in the trees. It was her. Strong, watchful, and accompanied by her cubs. She stepped forward, pausing just a few feet away, locking eyes with the man. In that stillness, there was no fear, only recognition. A soft chuff, a lingering glance, and then she vanished into the forest once again. That moment marked the beginning of an unspoken bond between them. He returned often, and sometimes she'd appear, never too close, but never too far. In saving her life, he had unknowingly earned her trust and her quiet companionship.